Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, so this video you're about to watch is the very first service I did on the vehicle, and this was when I originally bought it 7,000 miles ago. Now, since I did the service in this video, Brad, of course, has been the custodian of the car, and he put 7,000 miles on it. So there's going to be another video coming that shows another complete inspection of the vehicle now that I have it back at my shop and picked it up from Brad. So again, this video you're watching right now is the initial service I did when I bought the car 7,000 miles ago. So enjoy the video. Okay, here we are with a 1987 Mercedes 300 SDL.
Right.
And what is your name?
Wynn Downey.
And how long have you had this car?
Since 1987.
You bought it originally from the dealership.
My husband and I did.
And what did you think about this car? Did you like it?
Always loved it.
Loved it. Did your husband like it?
Yes, we used it mostly for trips. We had a lot of kids and grandkids, and we'd go on long trips. In fact, we went from here all the way up the East Coast through Canada and back down through Niagara Falls.
Wow, that's amazing.
That was one of our big trips that we took.
Well, this is an absolutely beautiful car, and thanks for letting me buy it.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I'm going to restore it and make it look really nice, and it's definitely in good hands. Well, thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And I'm just doing routine service. I've changed the oil and filter. I've changed the transmission fluid and filter. I've changed the differential fluid, power steering, brake fluid, and I've started greasing the rear tracks for the reclining rear seats, and I'm doing the window regulators and tracks for the power windows. Everything works on this car. It's a beautiful car. I'll go into more detail later when I'm done doing a service on it. Let's see what this dash looks like up here. Look at that dash. Absolutely incredible. 129,476 miles. And also flushed out the fuel tank because I guess diesel had been sitting in there for 10 years. And see, I've ordered a new grommet for the antenna. But you want to flush out these tanks and replace the in-tank filter. That thing was filthy, so I put a new one in there. And what's really amazing and unique about this car is this is the only 300 SDL, the only SD that has, there's the window, of course. That is heated rear seats, and that is reclining rear seats. And of course, I just did the service on the reclining rear seats where I greased the tracks to make sure all that stays in good condition and still continues to operate for another 100,000 miles. Next, I'm going to grease the tracks with Mercedes grease on the sunroof, which is still in excellent working condition. And let's take a look in here. Wow. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. There's the toolkit down there. Man, this is beautiful. I love finding cars that had owners that took care of them. Still got the first aid kit in the back here. Pop that open. Never been out of there. And they said they took this on long trips with the family. They said they went up the East Coast, up to Maine, Canada. I think they said Niagara Falls. And man, this is just, I love finding them well taken care of like this. I mean, look at all the rubber components. They're not even cracked. They're not even worn out. And I haven't cleaned this engine. I have not cleaned any of this. This is how I found it. And it's beautiful. I mean, look at the hoses. The hoses are still in outstanding condition. All the vacuum lines, the rubber, look at the rubber boot on the cable back to the transmission. That's still good. The hoses for the coolant, radiator hoses. They must have had this changed, well, or serviced and changed some of this stuff because it's just in incredible condition. I actually went to the Mercedes dealer where they had it serviced, and they won't release the records to me. So I'm having the previous owner meet me there. So they'll release the records to me, so I'll get the records. Carfax shows that all the AC stuff was redone. That would explain why the AC still works so great. And what's cool too about this car, and this is very rare, I haven't seen it, seen this before, it has the lumbar support on the front seats. There's the controls, there we go. There's the controls for the lumbar support. And keep in mind I have the carpets out because I'm just shampooing them. Like I want to clean up some of this here. Just some stains from, you know, the last 36 years or whatever. Look at the wood. It's in incredible condition. Looks like a little bitty chip there. It's not cracked. All the vents work great. Oh, and this is the prized possession right here. Check this out. It's the original window sticker. Hope I don't get grease all over it. There we go. Mercedes-Benz, Port of Import, Jacksonville. Here's the amazing part. Look at all the options. So, optional equipment, electrically adjustable rear, orthopedic seat back on the driver and passenger, electric heated rear seats, electric heated front seats. Here, let me push this in. There's the electric heated front seats. Isn't that awesome? I've never seen that on one of these cars. Sliding sunroof. So there we go. Look at that. $52,000 in 1987. Suggested retail. Let's see what the mileage. 22 miles per gallon. This is so cool. So that's just a real surprise. It looks like too, look at that. There's a 12 volt charging port in the glove box. I haven't seen that before. I don't know if they added that. There's some extra exhaust hangers. Oh, here's the service. Yeah, see, I have the carpets out as I was expecting all the vents, make sure everything works. You know, it has the rear vent in this car to cool the passengers in the back. They're reclined back in the reclining seats. But here's the maintenance booklet. And you can see, let me take this out here. So you can see how they've ripped off all the maintenance schedule. See the pages that are ripped off? There we go. Next. Oh, here we go. What's this here? Okay, there's where it starts. So, scope of work to be done. There you go. 7/28/87. Snyder Auto Sales, Greenville, South Carolina. And here's all the stickers that were taken off and put in the, you know, when they service it, they remove the sticker and stick it in the door. This is pretty cool. So cool. It comes with the service book. But anyway, I'll show the car once I'm done performing all the routine maintenance. And here, let me just close the hood, show you what this thing looks like. Look at that. The paint is incredible. Such a beautiful car. I'll let the service book up there. Anyway, I'll post some videos when when I'm done with the service and I'm driving around. I'll put the carpets back in after shampooing them, and hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, as I showed in another video, this car has heated rear seats, and right there, that's a reclining rear seat. And so just for regular maintenance, since this hasn't been done, you know, in 30 years, I've got the seat pushed forward, and I'm just going to lubricate the track. You can see, let me turn on this light here. So there's some, you know, dried up gummy grease on there. I'm going to put some high pressure graphite grease on these tracks. There's one here and one over there, just to lubricate everything and make sure it stays in good working condition. Alright, so to lubricate these tracks, I like to use the Moly Graphite Extreme Pressure multi-purpose grease. I use this on the window tracks, and you can see here where I've lubed up the gear and the rear track. And let's see if I can zoom in. I've done it very nice on both sides of the car, and that should give it a very smooth operation. Let's see, I'm going to go all the way forward. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Very smooth. Here we go. It's getting all that grease in there good. That's how we want it. So I'll go ahead and roll that forward and then reassemble the seat. Next, I'm going to service the rear windows. Everything works, but there's a window track in there, and there's a motor in there, and that should be lubricated. So I'm going to remove the door panel, which you can see I've already taken off the arm here, and removed some little parts here. That's I guess you guys recognize those. Goes to the lock here. And then here's the some of the trim. You remove that here, and then you can pop everything out. You also have to disconnect the courtesy lamp below, and that is right there. And then this panel will actually pop up. Now I'm not going to do it while I'm holding the phone, because there's some little clips behind there. You want to be careful not to break them. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, grease the window track, and that will also let me grease the door strap. And I'm going to do this on all 4 doors. That's a maintenance item. I want to make sure everything is nice and greased, and these windows will last another 150,000 miles. But when you don't do that, the windows, especially the passenger side window, that seems to be the one that always gets stuck. So they're all working on good on this car now, so I'm going to go ahead and perform that maintenance. Alright, so what I'm up to now is I removed the Becker radio because it wasn't turning on, and that absolutely needs to work. So I'm going to take the radio, because it looks like in great condition, but I did notice it was getting a little warm on the side when I tried to power it up. So I'm going to send that off to Becker to be rebuilt. Also, just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, I'm going to replace the this is the cigarette lighter bulb right here. So when you have the actual ashtray open, and and the cigarette lighter, see that little ring around it? When the headlights are on, that illuminates. And so that's a little, I think that's a little 2-watt bulb, so I'm going to replace that. But other than that, it's extremely clean back there. And just checked all the other controls. Well, I've got the battery done now, but the rear heater works, cabin recirculation works, hazards work, rear light works. Antenna will start working once the radio powers up. And of course the AC blows ice cold. So anyway, I'm going to get that taken care of next. Oh yeah, and that little light. Oh, and also when you turn on the lights, there's a little bulb under here at nighttime that illuminates the gear selector. So I'm going to pop out this panel here, and then pop out this wood piece here. There's some screws back behind there, and replace the bulb so that illuminates at night. I just like to have everything perfect on these cars. Just doing a transmission fluid flush on the 87 300 STL. And what a lot of guys don't know, you can take the pan off, but there is also a little Allen plug that goes in the torque converter. And you take that out, and it drains the torque converter, and tons of fluid comes out of the torque converter. So you absolutely have to remove that plug and drain the torque converter when you're changing the transmission fluid, along with the filter. Always got to replace that. So here's a very good sign. You can tell this vehicle is taken care of. and serviced regularly because the transmission filter is Mealy, however you say that. I always call it Mealy, and it's not a Mercedes part. So that means the previous owner correctly had the transmission serviced, which is great news. I just wanted to record up here. Man, it looks fantastic. So clean up here, and the fluid was still red, so I know this was taken care of and serviced correctly. And man, it's beautiful up here. This car is in such good shape. No leaks. The vacuum components are still good. New shifter bushings were installed. Yeah, the guy really loved this vehicle. It's clear. All right, we have a beautiful, clean transmission pan, and just put on a nice new filter. Looks like Phoebe still makes these in Italy, and they come from Germany, so it was nice we could avoid China. So anyway, we got the nice new filter on there, and just double check to make sure the cork gasket right there seated correctly. And we're gonna slap on this pan. Did the oil, just did the new transmission filter, drain the transmission, torque converter. Now I'm draining the tank, and I'm gonna remove the filter, in-tank filter, because you know those tend to get clogged up. So it's just slowly trickling it out of this tube right now. But man, this car is incredible condition. The exhaust, minor surface rust. Tie rods have already been changed. It's new rubber. Still got the, I guess that's cadmium or zinc plating on the parts under here. Now it does have a belly pan here that I've removed. Previous owner changed the shocks. It's got a new AC unit in there. Oil cooler lines are in outstanding condition. I guess those were changed too, but man, this guy was so meticulous. Look, he even put new bolts on the steering adjustment. Look at those things. Looks brand new. Absolutely. I spilt some diesel when I was so that's why this is shiny down here. Yeah, look at all the boots are good. I think I saw some new shocks on here too. Yeah, look. You can see because the new shock bolts. Let's see here. Yep, that's a Bilstein. Yep. New shocks. Boots on the rear are still intact. No leaking from the differential. God, look how shiny. Those bolts look new. The brake lines are in outstanding condition. These had to have been changed. Boots are in great condition. Boots aren't leaking. Sway bar end links are solid and still intact. Those had to have been changed. No way those are over 30 years old. Man, the guy just took immaculate care. He actually passed away in 2011. I'm sorry, I think it was 2000. But the family drove the car and parked it in 2011. And I went over there and put a little temporary fuel supply on it with a Coke bottle and some diesel, and you know, changed the filters because I didn't know what was in the tank. And man, it fired right up. It didn't even rotate one revolution. But this is 129,000 miles, 1987 300 ST. When I'm done doing the service on the vehicle, I'll lower it down and show you some really cool things that are only found on this car. But again, the condition, look at the brake control rod bushing. That's been replaced. This car was meticulously cared for. It looks so good under here. No rust anywhere. That's still the factory underspray, undercoating. brake lines, everything. All the rubber, see the rubber pieces that are holding the brake lines? All the bushings are in outstanding condition. Flex disc, outstanding condition. Even the rubber grommet covering the emergency brake. I think this is some of the drain. Look at that. The rubber is still good. So nice. I'm just looking around under here. There's a transmission. Look how clean it is up in there. Yeah, power steering box. Rag joint is still good. God, look how clean the engine is. I just love finding cars like this. And down here in Atlanta, this was an Atlanta car. I'll show the top of the car. Anyway, let me finish the service and get this in-tank filter changed. I've got it right here. And then another, there's the in-tank filter and the fuel filter and the pre-filter. Already changed the transmission filter and oil change. So let me just finish up this. I'll show the top side of the car. Something else I wanted to show, these drain lines, the rubber is still flexible and they're still intact. That drains out of the cowl, I think. And also these plastic covers that protect from it getting on the bushings and stuff. These plastic covers are still intact. Same goes on this side. The covers there and the drain lines are in great condition. I'm just looking up here. Oh yeah, look at that, new shifter bushings. Man, everything's been taken care of on this car. So cool. All right, now it's flowing. And don't worry. And here you go. This is why you drain the tank. I just took the filter out after it got pretty low. But look at the difference. There's a new filter. There's the original filter. So it's important to change those filters on all diesel Mercedes. That's just how they get. Looks like this is about done. Oh, missing my bucket. Anyway, this is about done. I'm going to pop that new filter in there and then clean all this up with some brake cleaner. Get all that diesel off of there. So there's the old, that's like the cloth braided line. So I like to put a new rubber hose on the new filter because these things will start leaking. They start weeping. So I'm going to go ahead and change the line out also. Look at that dirty old filter. And definitely don't forget to change the O-ring. Here's a fresh O-ring that goes between the tank and the filter. You can see the O-ring on this one is like pressed flat. So these of course come with new O-rings. Alright, got a nice new hose up there. Cleaned it all up, got the diesel off of everything, and got a new filter in there. Even the rubber protective boot around the fuel tank hoses is still in place, and it's still in good condition. That's crazy. So awesome. Thing we're gonna do is put some fresh gear oil in the differential. You always want to make sure you can get the top undone first before you drain the bottom. Ooh, that's grody. Let me set this plug down here. We'll remove the top one, see if it comes out a little faster. We're going to put some nice new dyno gear oil in here. There we go. Get that old gunk out of here. Man, it's actually not terrible. Still got some color to it. You know what? This was changed. He even had the diff serviced. That's great. Previous owner really took care of this thing. I guess this is just an old habit, but I like to put pipe thread sealant on the diff plug before I put it back in there. Keeps it from getting stuck and hung up in there, and just adds a little bit better seal. Come on. There we go. Let me get my wrench here. We're going to get this thing topped back off with some fresh fluid. Get out of here, bucket. There we go. Now let's pop this topping off and get some fresh fluid in there. This is just something else I wanted to point out. In addition to all the, tie rods are new. Look at the condition of these bushings. Let's see here. Look at that. There's almost no wear and no rot on the bushings. That still has the little plastic, the little nubs like on a tire. These bushings are in incredible condition. Even the grommet for the shock absorber for the engine, that's still malleable. These had to have all been changed. Even the mount. Normally those mounts are all deteriorated, and here they're in good condition. The turbo drain back, there's no leaking from the turbo. Man, I love this car. I should keep this one. Just another view of the condition. Look at the upper boot. That thing looks new. And look at the bushings for the sway bar. Look at the bushings on the upper control arm. Look at that. Man, 129,000 miles. Still got the original cover for the shock. That's so cool.